Have you ever stopped to actually listen to the music in a store? Or maybe the sounds in your favorite video game? Well, today we're pulling back the curtain on the secret soundtrack that's pretty much everywhere, influencing what you do and how you feel, a lot of times without you even noticing. So let's just dive right in with a pretty big question. Is the music you hear in the background every single day actually controlling you? I know, it sounds a little bit like science fiction, but the answer is way more interesting than you might think. I mean, think about it. This kind of music is literally everywhere. It's in stores, in games, maybe even playing quietly right now while you study. But here's the thing, it's not just random noise. It's what's called functional music. It has been carefully chosen and designed to do a specific job. Okay, first up, let's explore this invisible sound that's basically the soundtrack to your day. The official name for this is ambient sound. And all that really means is it's background audio that's built to create a certain vibe, a specific atmosphere, without you really having to pay close attention to it. Kind of like the calm music at a spa. It's meant to just hang out at the edge of your awareness. And it actually does a ton of different jobs. Ambient sound can cover up annoying noises, it can fill that awkward silence in an elevator, or it can make a giant empty space feel way more welcoming. It's also used to lower stress or just kind of support whatever you're doing, whether that's shopping or waiting for an appointment. All right, let's look at how this works in a place I know you've experienced it, a store. Welcome to Shopping to the Beat, where music is basically a silent salesperson. This is such a classic retail strategy. When a store plays slow, chill music, shoppers almost always walk slower. They look at more stuff, and yep, you guessed it, they usually end up buying more. But what if the store gets super crowded? Well, they'll switch to faster, upbeat music to get people moving and manage the flow of traffic. And it's not just about the speed either. The type of music, the genre, is just as important. The sound has to match the brand to attract the right people. It's why you're not going to hear classical music in an energy drink commercial, and you definitely won't hear heavy metal in an ad for a luxury car. This same exact idea works perfectly in restaurants. Fast music tends to make people eat and drink faster, which lets the restaurant serve more customers. But slower music? That encourages you to hang out, to linger, which makes it way more likely you'll say yes to that extra dessert or another coffee. Okay, let's switch gears from shopping to studying. Time for focus mode, where we're going to see how you can actually use audio to hack your brain for better productivity. You might think the best way to focus is with complete and total silence, but for a lot of people, that's actually wrong. In total silence, every little tiny sound, like a click or someone walking by, suddenly becomes super noticeable and distracting. A steady, low-level sound actually helps your brain filter all that out. So the real trick is finding that perfect balance. And research actually points to a magic number, around 60 decibels. For some context, that's about the volume of a normal conversation. That seems to be the sweet spot for background sound to help you focus. Any louder, and the music itself just becomes the distraction. And this all leads to a really clever technique called sound masking. You've probably heard this in places like banks or doctor's offices. They add a low-level constant sound, like a soft whoosh of airflow, to protect privacy. It works by making it just hard enough to understand conversations happening a little ways away. So we've gone from focus to feelings. Let's talk about how music acts like an emotional remote control, especially when it comes to movies and video games. Seriously, have you ever been watching a movie, maybe a horror movie, and your heart is just pounding, but nothing scary is actually happening on screen? So what is it that's creating that feeling of pure dread? Well, that is the music's job. A film score is basically your emotional guide. It uses specific sounds to signal danger, it slowly builds tension to get you on the edge of your seat, and it tells you exactly when to feel happy, or sad, or completely terrified. Composers even write little musical themes for characters, so you know who's coming just by the sound. And here's why that works so well. Music has this incredible direct line to your brain. It can trigger the release of dopamine, that's the chemical that makes you feel happy. It can lower your heart rate to calm you down, reduce anxiety, and even unlock really powerful memories. It's basically an emotional shortcut. And then you've got video games, which take this whole idea and make it interactive. The soundtrack literally changes based on what you're doing. It's calm and peaceful when you're just exploring, but the second you get into a battle, it becomes intense and fast. It's like an interactive feeling machine that responds to you. So this idea of functional music isn't exactly new, but it is evolving faster than ever before. So let's take a look at the sound of the future, where this all started and where it's headed next. Okay, here's a super quick history lesson. It really got going back in the 1930s with companies like Muzak, which piped music into elevators to help calm nervous riders. During World War II, factories played music to boost morale. Then in the 80s, we got cassette tapes for store playlists. And today, we have AI algorithms that can predict exactly what you want to hear. The future of this technology is all about personalization. Just imagine an AI that creates music based on the weather outside, or a smart building that adjusts the audio based on how many people are inside. We could see stores that play music targeted just for you, maybe based on what you've bought before. And in virtual reality, 3D audio is already making those digital worlds feel unbelievably real. So the big takeaway here is that this secret soundtrack is absolutely real. It's a powerful and complex tool that's being used all the time to influence how you shop, how you work, and even how you feel from one moment to the next. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Now that you're in on the secret, what are you going to hear differently today?